Welcome back, folks, to the third iteration of the SandBox server. So as usual, it's a sandbox. Everything is highly susceptible to change. It's a trial and error process. Everything is a test and experiment, whereas the test server is more of a test drive before we put out the tank. Whereas on the sandbox, it's more like manufacturing ground. So everything is test, not really like test drive. That's the metaphor. So you know the drill. Everything is highly volatile to be changed. Nothing is set. Nothing will make it to the live server as it is unless it's like 10% chance. So don't go panicking. Don't go rioting. It's only an experiment. But today I want to take a look at the tier 10 French light tank, the AMX 13105. So we're getting this vehicle as the final tier 10 light coming from the AMX 1390. The AMX 1390 will be shifted from tier 8 to tier 9 with a Batchat 12T replacement at tier 8. So I'm kind of feeling a little bit wonky about this Batchat 12T because it's the first high-level multi-branch vehicle. So you have to play the Batchat 12T to reach the Batchat 25T, the AMX 13s, as well as the AMX 30s. So you have to play this vehicle a lot to gather a lot of XP to unlock a lot of subsequent branches. So what if you don't like to play the Batchat 12T? You're in for a rough time. So the only other multi-branch vehicle is, I think, the T34 into the MT25 into the A43 into the T3485. So that's the only other multi-branch vehicle, but that's at tier 5. So gathering a lot of XP is not that difficult at tier 5 compared to tier 8. So this may be a problem if you do not like to play the Batchat 12T. So who knows, but it's the first ever high-level multi-split, tri-level split of a tech tree. But let's take a look at the AMX 13105. So this vehicle, I believe, is or should be played like the Batchat 25T. So they both have 105mm, but this vehicle has less shells. So let's take a look at the gun. But we have less shell compared to the Batchat, so only 3 rounds in the autoloader compared to the 5. You have a faster reload for less shell, so that's a trade-off, but less penetration as well. So 234mm compared to 259. That's kind of quite significant. So that's 25mm, and that means you're penetrating the front of the turret on the E100 to not penetrating the front of the E100. So yeah, it's a big difference. Also, the accuracy is also even worse than the Batchat, so 0.4 compared to 0.38, but you do have a faster aim time of 2.3 seconds. So the gun weighs less than the Batchat's 105. So APCR, high explosive empty tank, the same. So yeah, it's like a version of the Batchat, but less penetration, less shells, faster aim time. Trade-off. Also, you have 3 more rounds loaded than the Batchat. So this vehicle carries 33 rounds as opposed to the Batchat's 30 round. Alright, you can see the 30. And that's 33. So 33 and 30. Don't show you multiple windows for it. Alright, fine. So yeah, it's a slight trade-off, but here are the main stats for both vehicles. I put the same crew skills and a little bit different vehicle equipments. So the Batchat has a longer aim time, and therefore I put enhanced gun lane drive. Whereas for this vehicle, the AMX 13105, aim time is not as bad, so I decided to put vents instead. But here are the comparison of all the stats. So as you can see, turret traverse is about the same. Rate of fire is about 1 shell less per minute. You do have 8 degrees of gun depression, 12 elevation, so better angles for the gun than the Batchat. Reloads faster but less shell. better aim time. Dispersion is close based on the cruise skill, but 0.37 is still wonky. DPM is not as crazy as the other light tanks at tier 10, so only 1,929 compared to the Batchats. You have 400 less-ish. Health is also less, 1,400. Hull armor is garbo, same goes for the Batchat. You're not supposed to bounce shots, so don't expect it. Weights, only 16 tons. Interesting. So, usually the AMX 13, well, it's not that heavy, but 16 is quite a lot compared to vehicles like the T100. The T100 weighs about 15 tons. That vehicle has 180 millimeters of frontal turret armor with 120 on the hull, so insane. But yeah, about the same weight, 600 horsepower, so the horsepower per ton ratio is 37.04, and it's a little bit better than the Batchat, but top speed is about the same, traverse for the hull is about the same, better camo, and better view range. So basically, you're taking the essence of playing the Batchat and modifying the light tank aspect rather than the medium tank aspect or the autoloading aspect. So playing this vehicle is like playing the Batchat, except you're not as aggressive in the assassination role, and you should be more focused on passive scouting and not really on the active scouting, because this vehicle is not as crazily fast as the T100 or the Romtel Panzerwagen. So usually when you're playing the AMX 13 series, these vehicles have better camouflage values than the competitive other light tanks of the same tier. So the AMX 1390 should have better camo than the AMX or than the T49, and AMX 1375 has better camo than the T71 or the Bulldog. So that's the usual trade-off, but I'll try to not suck as I try out this vehicle, but that's not a guarantee. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about the AMX 13105. It's like the Batchat, so ooh. At least it's not Hemmelsdorf. Hemmelsdorf, ugh. Alright, we're on this side. So yeah, this vehicle. This map though, we have a bunch of heavies, and you should not go super aggressive with T100s because T100s have armor. This only has 234 millimeters of pin, and this is not as good as go brawling as other light tanks, so play a little bit more passively with this vehicle. But yeah, you have a long reload, low DPM, don't go brawling, it's a bad idea, so do not go towards the middle of the hill. It's bait, it's a red herring. This vehicle is not suited well for that. But rely on your spotting, rely on your camo. And play towards your strength, not towards your weakness, right? Missed. I did not get spotted, alright. And you do have a long reload. So be patient, we have a 113. I'll try to see anyone else coming over here, but be patient. Alright. So there's the T100. Yeah, your tier 1, tier 10 T100s will not encroach a heavy tank. They don't have the health to go brawling. They're good at brawling against mediums or any other vehicle, but they don't have the health to go crazy against a heavy. So play towards your strength. Don't go don't go two balls deep. Can't talk. So it has an autoloading gun, but only 3 rounds. So we'll try to take pot shots and try to stay away from the heavy tanks, the tank destroyers, from collateral damage. Take cover. Do not get spotted. Okay. Be patient. There's a E3. He hurts if he hits us. So I'll try to push up. I got spotted. Alright. I'm still trying to hide. There's a STB-1. Alright, we got him now. Got his tracks. Got his engine compartment. Perfect. 900 alpha. Right, now hide. Right. So let... Oh. Oh. So, yeah. Ow, 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 ow. So, T-57 Heavy. He is being chewed on by the 50B. Right. The reload is kind of long. Oh dang, bounce headshot. Alright, good. Reload. All their artillery are dead, so I should be a little bit okay based on this position, but the 113 won't last long. So he needs to take cover as fast as humanly possible. I need to get out of here to give him space. Dang it. Alright. And to give him space, but... So... 30B. Oh mama! No, no, no! Don't go into the riverbed. Don't go down there. So... Right now I am afraid of the rush from the Shkuda T-50 as well as the T-100 light tanks. So this vehicle is not known for brawling. You should not go brawling, but you have a 900 alpha or 900 1200 alpha burst. So dang it. I'm at tracks. Alright, I need to get out of here. Wiggle! Serpent sting! Serpent sting! Dang it, got my tracks again. So yeah, this vehicle should not go brawling, and you should rely on your heavy tanks to do... Ow! 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 Circle strafe! Circle strafe! Dang it! Oh well. So yeah, you can see the strength of this vehicle. It's not as good as, you know, brawling light tanks like the T-100 light tank, so you have to rely on your teammates to take some of the hits, but your main job is passive scout. You have to focus on using your camo and using your burst whenever opportune moments show up, like the STB-1 or the T-57 Heavy, but don't go too ham with this vehicle because the lack of armor, and you don't feel as fast as the Russian counterpart or the German counterpart. So yeah, it's what I expected out of this vehicle. So you don't have the health, you don't have that crazy of a horsepower per ton ratio, so utilize this to understand that you should be taking initial spotting positions and be a little bit more passive, but you still have to rely on your teammates to, you know, take key positions on the map. So as what I expected, but holy crud, that's a lot of credits. Is that event? That's event. It's never that much credits, so only 1,000. Ooh, so yeah, pretty rough, but it's a loss. But only 1,000 credit for a loss, that's still pretty decent. So yeah, but that's the AMX 13105 for you. So I don't want to drag this video on, but it does feel like AMX 1390, except you have a bigger gun and higher tier, obviously. So it will feel like a Batchat, but doesn't have the burst. So play towards more spotting rather than assassination roles, and that's how you should play this vehicle. So that's my 2 cents about it, but it does have 3 more rounds than the Batchat. So the one of the most problematic aspect about the Batchat, or factors about the Batchat, is that it only has 30 rounds. So yeah, 33 should be a little bit better, 10%, but you don't have the penetration. So be cautious, and that's how you should play light tanks. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.